and welcome. My name is Diana and this is Chair Fitness. It's stretch and strengthen today. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is May the 8th, 2025, and I'm going to run through our supplies list first and we'll go ahead and get started. And just a friendly reminder, if you like to chart your workout with your device like your watch, you can go ahead and call this functional strength training. Today we're going to use that sturdy chair of ours. This is going to be our dining room chair, something without wheels. All right, in addition to that, today we're going to also have our water so that we can stay hydrated throughout. I'm going to have you pick a medium light to you dumbbell set. For me, I'm going to use your 10s, but I want to remind you that maybe medium light to you is more like your 5s or your 8s or even your 3s, okay? So we're going to pick medium light. And then our last piece of equipment is going to be some kind of object that's about 5 inches or more in height, and that could be our foam roller. And we're going to use that today for a little forward step over, okay? If you need a little bit more with that exercise, you might take your kettlebell that has a higher handle to it, and you might use that as your object to travel that foot over. Okay, so really quickly to run through those again, we're going to use that sturdy dining room chair. We want to stay hydrated with our water. We're going to use a medium light to you dumbbell set, and we want that object that we can step over for our forward step overs, okay? Like usual, let's go ahead and take a seat on our chair. We're going to sit forward enough that we can feel grounded through the soles of our feet and our hips feel supported, and we're able to find that nice tall spine. Let's go ahead and rest our hands in our lap. If you enjoy your neck stretches with your eyes closed, go ahead and close your eyes down. And we're going to start by dropping our chin to our chest, elongating the back of our neck. And we're going to take our half neck circles. So we'll roll our right ear to our right shoulder and pause for a breath in and a breath out. And then we'll bring our chin back to our chest and roll our left ear to our left shoulder. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. Repeat that over to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left ear to the left. Breath in. Breath out. From here, we'll bring our chin back to our chest, and we're going to take our full circles. So bring your right ear to your right shoulder, but then this time look up, lift your chin, sweep around to the left. And then we'll go to the left, look up, then sweep around, coming down to the right. One more time each direction, over to the right, and over to the left. Good, chin to chest, and then straighten the spine up tall. Next, we're going to take our seated cat-cow variation. So this is a spinal flexion and extension. We'll bring our palms to our thighs, and then staying tall in our spine, we're going to actually round forward, drop your chin to your chest. We're going to pull your mid and upper back towards the backrest of your chair. Your hands slide down. Maybe the fingertips actually cup around the top of your knees, and you can actually pull against that. And then we'll slide the hands back up the thighs. We're going to puff up the chest and drop the chin back and up to the ceiling in order to elongate the front of the chest across the front of the throat. Good. 4 more like that. Slide your hands forward, catch the tops of your knees, pull your mid back to the backrest of your chair. And then arch your whole upper body. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, lift your chin high to the sky. Good, here's 3 more. Breathe in through the rounding. Breathe out through the arch. Breathe in through the rounding. Breathe out through the arch. Last one, big breath in. And big breath out. Great movement. Let's come back to our neutral spine. We should be able to leave our body position exactly where it is, and we're going to crisscross right ankle over left knee. We're going to bring our hands to our knee and ankle, and then we're going to find our tall spine before we hinge forward right at the hip. So we keep our back flat here, and we may not need to fold very far before we start to really feel that lengthening in the right glute. Beautiful, friends. We're going to actually come back up tall and leave that right leg crossed. We'll pick up the left hand and set it on the outside of the right knee. We'll take the right hand back to the chair back, and we're going to take our seated spinal twist in figure 4 today. Notice if it feels good to actually pull against that right knee to deepen the stretch that you're getting in that hip. Let's pause, breathe in, breathe out. Wonderful. Go ahead and bring your body back through the middle. Release the right leg down, pick the left leg up. We'll start with our hand on our knee and ankle again, and straighten up tall in the spine. Hinge forward to stretch the left hip. Beautiful, friends. Come up to that tall spine, and we're going to take the right hand to the outside of that left knee, and then the left hand's back behind the hip, and we're lengthening up through the spine and twisting to look over that left shoulder. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful, friends. Come back through the middle. We'll set that left leg down, and next we're going to stay seated for both wrist flexion and extension stretches. So I'm going to have you send your right arm forward, drop your fingertips down to face the floor, and then we're going to take our left hand and actually pull our fingers and the middle of our palm back toward our body. That should stretch the top back side of your wrist and forearm. Big breath in, big breath out. And then we'll do the opposite. We'll point those right fingertips to the sky, and we're going to catch the front of the palm with the left hand and pull the mid palm and the fingers back towards your face. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. We'll do the same thing on the second side. So left fingertips down, catch the middle of the palm with the right hand and pull that hand back towards your face. Big breath in, breath out. Fingertips up on the left hand, catch that palm with the right hand and pull back to your face. Big breath in and big breath out. Fantastic, friends. Let's release our hands down, get grounded in our feet. See if you can press up to your standing position without using your hands. And we're going to go from here into, I call it which way to the beach. It's an external shoulder rotator, okay? So somebody walks up to you, they say which way to the beach, you know the beach is behind you. We're going to start with our arms at a 90-degree angle and our thumbs up, and we're going to tell them the beach is back there. We're going to externally rotate, and we're going to point our thumbs back behind us. Let's take 10 reps like that. Yeah, and it might give you a little bit of a chuckle. Which way to the beach? It's back there. 2. Here's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Beautiful. Okay, we spend so much of our time at our desk, at our computer, on our phone, driving, and we're in a forward hunch through the shoulders. And this exercise that we just did is such a fantastic opener for the front of that shoulder joint. So I hope it felt really good. We're going to move into our standing stretches. Today we're going to start by elongating the side body. And so I'm going to give you 2 different variations. If you have shoulder pain or discomfort, you're going to take a teapot, or for some of my clients, I like to call it a coffee pot because they prefer coffee over tea. So you can be a teapot or a coffee pot today. We're going to take that side to side. If you need more and don't mind stretching through the shoulders, we're going to take that same exercise dynamically, but we're going to extend the arms overhead and catch opposite wrists. Good. 2. and 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. All right, from here, rest your arms down by your sides. Go ahead and step your feet out a little wider. And we're gonna take our standing torso rotation. So tall spine again like earlier when seated in the chair. And we're gonna rotate from side to side. You can let your arms continue that twist and keep your head turning to look all the way over back behind you beyond that shoulder. Good. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. We're gonna get to work some triceps today, so let's stretch them out. Let's send the left arm up to the sky. Drop your hand behind your shoulders and your upper back. We're gonna take the left hand, or excuse me, it's the right hand, and catch that left elbow and pull that left elbow back behind your head. Good. Big breath in. Big breath out. Excellent. I hope you liked that stretch. We'll send the right arm up. Forearm and hand back behind the upper shoulders and back. Catch it with the left hand and pull back behind. Big breath in and big breath out. And release your arms down. Now we're going to do my very favorite hamstring stretch. We've got that chair there. We're going to go ahead and throw our right leg up on the chair. We're going to pull our toes back towards our nose and put that soft bend in our knee. And our first part of our 3-part hamstring is going to be that forward fold where we're bending right over that upper leg. Beautiful, friends. Go ahead and keep the legs as is. We're going to extend the torso up, and if you can, keep a hand on your chair. We're going to open our right arm out to the right, taking a twist. All right, you might notice that that just deepens a lot of the length that you were getting in that hamstring, and maybe brings some of the stretch up higher around the glutes, maybe even travels up through the low back. Great work. Go ahead and sweep that right arm to meet the left hand. And then we're going to put that right hand on the chair. Watch my foot. I'm going to spin it out to the side, and I'm going to open up. So I want you to think about being squished like you're a sand dollar. And we're particularly thinking about tucking our tailbone so that we're getting an adductor stretch on the inside of the groin of the right leg. All right, take a breath in and a breath out, and then we're going to go ahead and get stable, rotate back to face the chair, and very carefully go ahead and bring that leg down. Great work. Let's repeat all 3 of those on the second side. So left leg up, toes come up towards your nose, soft bend in the knee. We're going to hinge the body over that leg. Couple of deep breaths right here in this central hamstring stretch. Beautiful. Straighten your body up tall. And we're going to take our right hand to the chair, and we're going to open our left arm out to the side, taking that twist. Beautiful, friends. Bring your left hand back to the chair. We're going to rotate it the foot all the way out to face to the side, and then open up that right arm. Here's our little tailbone tuck so that we're getting that adductor stretch in the inside there of that left hip and thigh. Beautiful, my friends. Go ahead and rotate back, and we're going to find safety, so make sure you're stepping back without losing your balance. Great job. Here's a great spot for a sip of water, and then from here we're going to move into a warm-up. Today we're going to actually repeat our warm-up twice because I just love these exercises. So we're going to get started with our, you know this, it's one of my favorites, it's the hip circles. We're going to step our feet out about squat distance, hands to hips, and I want you to see if you can take your hips one way, but your torso goes the other direction. We'll go each way 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Take it the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, come behind your chair next, and we're going to take 15 calf raises. We'll rise up onto toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Okay, remember that object that you grabbed? For me, it's going to be my foam roller. It might be your kettlebell. We're going to set that across our floor. This is going to work hip flexion as well as balance. All right, if you need that chair for support, have that close by. We're going to pick up our knee, and I want you to see if you can get that foot to travel straight over the top of your object. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Second side. And wow, what a surprise about how much work that is, huh? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Let's set that out of our space, and we're going to get squared up in front of our chair. We're going to warm up all of our squat muscles, our upper legs and our hips, and we're going to bring our hands right up to chest, wrap one hand around your opposite fist, and we're going to take 10 of our chair squats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. For the sake of warming up, we're going to just jump right back through that again. So hip circles, feet wide, hands to hips if you like. And once again, your torso is going to travel in the opposite direction of your hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come up tall. We're going to come behind your chair. That helps us with balance, so we can focus right on the calves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Reposition your chair. We're going to do our step overs next. If you remember what leg you started on, let's start with the other. So I'm going to let my left leg travel over first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Second side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, set that aside, and we'll finish up our warm-up with our chair squats, hands to chest, and we're coming up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Quick sip of water. I'm going to introduce to you our strength set. So we just got you warmed up for squats. And we're going to take that medium light to you dumbbell set, and we're going to start off with a chair squat to overhead press. If shoulder health is not where you want it to be for this movement, I'm going to have you just keep your weights right here at your shoulders. We're going to take those medium light to you weights right at the shoulders, and we're going to start with 10 squats into our overhead press. So that's our first exercise. Our second exercise, we're going to do something called balanced biceps. So you can take the inside of your foot right to your shin, or you can take your kickstand, okay? And we're going to take 5 bicep curls, and then we're going to switch legs. So you can come up, or you take your kickstand, and we're going to finish so we get that set of 10 bicep curls. And then we're going to take a halfway hinge in our body. It looks a lot like our deadlift, and we're going to bring our elbows up, and we're going to finish with 10 tricep kickbacks. Notice how my elbows stay lifted and my forearms are the only part of my body moving, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with that. Feet are squat distance apart. We're going to bring those weights right up to the front side of the shoulders. You can rest them there. And we're going to squat and push into our overhead press. Let's keep a neutral grip so your palms will continue to face towards each other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Release those weights down. 1 foot up, kickstand or tucked into the inner shin. 5, 4. Good. Set your eyes on a vision point. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Second side. Find your vision point. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Find your halfway hinge. Tuck your elbows up by the seams of your shirt, and here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. We're going to set those down and hydrate. We'll go right back through that in just a moment. All right, so we're back to it. Hopefully your heart rate is up a little bit. And we're going to take those weights right up to the front of the shoulders again. And we're going to take our seat and press overhead with that neutral grip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, release those arms down. See if you remember what side you balanced on second, and we'll take that side first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. I was gonna keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release down. We're gonna find that halfway hinge. Send the hips back, drive the elbows up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work up tall. Let's go ahead and rack those if you have that option. And we're gonna grab a sip of water and we're gonna finish up with a core superset today. Supersetting is 2 exercises back to back. And we're gonna try to actually go through these back to back twice without our normal rest break in between. So we're gonna start by sitting right up on the front edge of the chair like we did when we started. And we're gonna cup our hands back onto that seat. And I'm gonna give you a couple variations. We can start by rocking up and lifting our knees, and we're gonna march our toes to touch the ground. That's our harder version. Or you're gonna keep your feet planted and you're gonna alternate your knee lift, okay? Both of those variations are gonna work your abdomen. And then our second exercise is our forearm chair plank, and we're gonna work towards pulling our elbows towards our toes, and that's gonna help with that entire abdominal activation, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Taking a seat, we're up on the front edge. Hands are cupped back. See if you can keep your upper body posture really tall, and you can float the knees up if you like that variation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Work your way up tall, maybe no hands. And we're into our forearm plank, forearms to that chair. We're gonna step one toe back, brace your core, step the other, slide those shoulders right over the elbows, and then pull the elbows towards the toes, squeeze your glutes. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk your feet in. Great work. However many seconds you took there in plank is wonderful. Let's go ahead and round our workout out with one more superset here. We're back to the chair. I'm going to show you that rounded variation of these on this round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great work. We're up. We've got our finale. It's our plank. Elbows down. Step those toes back. And then pull those toes and elbows towards one another. Squeeze your glutes. And I want to remind you that you know best, so if you are done with your plank, go ahead and walk your feet in. But if you want to hang out with us till the end, please do that too. We've got 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Walk those feet in. Beautiful work. Go ahead and treat yourself to some hydration and some rest and any other stretches that you want to bring in to kind of end and round out your chair fitness class today. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, my name is Diana. If you had any questions, direct them right to me in my email, diana@bridgefitnesstraining.com. I can't wait to hear from you. And go forward and have yourself a great day. I'll catch up with you soon in our next live or recorded class. Take care. Bye-bye.